Hello, author friends. This is William Searles with the New York Critique. What I'd like to talk about today is something called the traditional publishing myth. I can't tell you how many authors I've spoken with whose worlds seem to have come to an end because they received a rejection notice from either an agent or a publishing house. What I want you to focus on here is how the system really works and to also keep your options open. So let's say you received an email and it's from a publisher and you can already see it before you even open it. They love your manuscript and have offered you a 3-book deal with an advance so big that will allow you to quit your day job and tell your boss what you really think about him. Soon, you'll be doing standing room only book signings, attending red carpet events, and cashing royalty checks big enough to buy yet another Mercedes or another vacation home. You're living the author's dream. So you open the response, knowing it's just a matter of time before you get random phone calls from fellow authors John Grisham and Stephen King seeking your guidance on sticky plot points, and your submission was given careful consideration, but we regret to inform you that we feel it just isn't right for us at the time. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Your heart skips a few beats. Your mouth dries out, and you exhale a big puff of despair. You want to know about the books that will make the list, and can only imagine how lucky those authors are. Hang on a second. Let's look at this. Be careful what you wish for. Here's why. First of all, occasional rejection is part of being an author. Regardless of who you are and where you are in your career as a writer, there's always going to be someone that wouldn't consider you wouldn't consider to be your biggest fan. Now let's take a look at a simple reality in the publishing world. That list you didn't make and how a rejection letter isn't the end of your publishing world. Let's say that a publisher puts out 50 books on their supposed list. With most publishing houses, 5 of those 50 titles will pay the bills, 15 will break even, and 30 will tank. So what's the difference between those that make it and those that don't? In most cases, it's you, the author. In today's publishing ecosystem, whether a book is traditionally or self-published, the bulk of most marketing plans is on the author. Please remember that. It's on you, the author. Smart authors develop their social media and create a following prior to publication. They share snippets of their manuscripts and develop content that isn't always focused on selling someone something, but one that creates community. A platform that lets their followers know they're a part of something, that they belong. As that following builds, voila, so does your list of buyers for the release of your new novel, regardless of how it's published. A big question is, so if the bulk of marketing is on me, why would I want my traditionally published book self-published instead? I absolutely promise you more and more traditionally published authors are asking themselves that question every day. With that said, if you're one of the authors that does well with a traditional publisher, it's a great place to be. But the truth is, most new books do not do well. Think about it. Depending whose stats you're following, as many as 4,000 and all the way up to 11,000 books are published every single day. Do the math on how many books that means comes out per year. I'll bet you can't name 50. So think about it. You really got to separate yourself from the crowd. And another thing I hear a lot of, I want my book in bookstores. It's good to have your book in bookstores, but here's the problem with it. All authors want their book in bookstores. But once the book is there, it has to sell. And if it's going to sell, people have to know about it. It doesn't matter if your novel has the cure for death in it. If people don't know about it, it won't sell, and it will get returned to the publisher, and it comes out of your pocket. What will you do to get the word out about your story? What will you do? Think about that. Again, whether you just received a book deal, are still querying, or going to self-publish, you need to get a plan that answers that question now. So here's the moral of the story. Your novel is probably every bit as good as most of the world's best sellers. Every story ever told has someone that doesn't like it. Ignore rejection, keep improving your craft, and create community-driven social media as if you've already made it as a successful author. Keep all your publishing options open and keep reminding yourself, if it's to be, it's up to me. Happy writing. Stop by the New York Critique and say hello, and have a great day.